Hello everyone, Ada here, and welcome to another Viewdassin Castle tour. Today we'll be touring my Silverlight Chateau, and this version will be a bit of a more relaxed pace throughout the castle. If you want a shorter version where I just kind of rush through, showcase the rooms and just say what they are, then I suggest watching the 15 or 16 minute version. I think it's be the short version, it's the full name. This version, once again, I'll go into a lot more detail behind all of the rooms, or maybe not a lot, depending on the room. I'll also be explaining why I use certain props instead of other decorations, or how I did certain things, especially with the hedges. And then I'll also be explaining where I got the ideas from, if I got it from somewhere else. Yeah. For a bit of context, before we start the castle tour, set up in the northwest of Silverlight, right here, before I set up over here where Nether has set up at the moment. This is, unlike my previous castle tour, this one is a purely decorative castle, so everything in here is just to look nice. And this is a PvE server, with just me and my friends on it, as you can see. No enemies. And this is a default server, there's no mods. Well, I guess the correct term would be vanilla, but it's also default in the settings, except that you can have 3 castles, so these are my 3 castles. And you can teleport with items, and that's the only things we've changed. But anyway, without further ado, actually I guess I should explain, well, I'll go into bad form, and then I'll explain a little bit. Normally when I design castles, so this right here is my castle design that I went for. It's very large, but normally when I build castles, I don't build huge castles. This was somewhat a force for me. And normally when I build castles, I pick a plot, and then I build a castle to that plot. So once again, when I built down here in Silverlight, I picked the plot because it looked really nice. This one also looks nice, but I mainly picked it because I could do kind of like a entrance with this courtyard here. And as you can tell, the whole layout of the plot kind of accommodates that. But I tried building that in this area once again, and once again it's too small for this castle design. So normally I don't build like that, but this time I decided to do it like that. But anyway, start the castle tour a little bit. We have this courtyard here, which once go up down to the main entrance. On the sides you've got this nice cypress garden. A small private garden, I'll explain that a little bit later. And then the shared balcony between 2 of my rooms up here. On the other side you've got this cherry blossom garden. And then you've got this side garden that follows along the creek. And has that waterfall in the background. It looks very nice on the ground. And down here you've got a nice view of mountains. I think the gardens are a lot prettier when you're on the ground, but castle, in my opinion, just look very nice in bad form. And that is something I tried making a priority. Normally when I build castles, I don't care about bad form that much. And it's mainly just an afterthought. I always think bad form, the top-down view looks very nice, regardless of the castle. But like, for example, my last castle, there's only like 2 locations that look nice, or somewhat half-decent. For this one, I tried making the entire castle look nice from the exterior. But anyway, to start off the castle tour, we have this entrance area here. You can see that the castle barely fits. So like, the entrance right here goes right up to the mountain where the plot ends. And then you've got this path here where you have a nice view of some mountains. If you watch my 60-minute version, you might be wondering, do I love the mountains? Do I hate the mountains? It's a mixed relationship. I mean, I love mountains. However, it's just so much gray. And this over here is the ocean. So you've got the whole ocean right here, which is beautiful. And then of course you've just got a mountain range right here. It's like, imagine if this was the ocean, it looks so much nicer. But we get mountains instead. They're sharp and pointy, which I don't like too much, but you know, it beats, you know, some of the views that you get in Farbane. And of course the course forest. But let's go through the front entrance here, where we have our horses greeting us. This design right here, it might look very simple, but I actually got this idea from Windsor Castle when I was in England a few years back. And there you see through like a gate, and you look at this nice, you know, it has paths on the side. It wouldn't have the path in the middle here, but it just has nice mowed grass. It's so simple. There's nothing going on, but it looks so nice because there's nothing on it. And I tried copying that here for the grand entrance, and I thought it looked pretty nice. And then of course I put a guest entrance underneath the stairs there, with the metal gate in front and an actual door behind it. But anyway, that's where I got the idea from. Of course we've got the Ebonite wallpaper here, and just some lampposts along the side. Let's go up the stairs here. We can look back at the courtyard. This was the view that I wanted to go for with this whole design. The view where you look down upon the garden, with it being somewhat closed on either side. But on this entrance, somewhat similar to the lower section. Well, it's very basic, you know, you've only got a few fountains. Not much going on, but I thought as I tried adding extra detail like vases, statues, all that, you know, I had giant fountains on each side. I thought it somewhat took away from the value of the front entrance, and you couldn't see the castle as much. In fact, I'm even debating if this fountain here is worth it. But I've left it in, since I love this fountain and I wanted to implement it somewhere in the castle. I've got statues of me with wings on it. Once again, white lighting in the front. You might notice this from my last castle. White lighting in front, orange lighting in the back. And then I just go out here, change it to orange. Now let's explore the cypress garden. Once again, these are cypress trees, hence the name. And on this side you've got nice seating area, where you can sit down on benches now, in case you were wondering. And I've got these plants here. I mostly go for glowy plants. I don't like morning lilies. I don't like sunflowers in this game. So, basically every other plant will do, and I don't like the mushrooms. For decoration, at least. And this area ends off in this. And I would like to explore before it goes up to the daytime. This cherry blossom garden on this side. It's very nice. Once again, you'll see it's somewhat basic when you first look at it. When you look at the side, you know, I have the vines growing up thing with the planters in front of it and the lamppost on the side. I think that adds the detail to the kind of like the building in the middle here. And of course this end, rather glow. Towards night, I'm gonna put on my glow key to prepare for that. But I've put snowflowers here, because I love the way they look, and you can actually hide them. So I forget the names of these flowers, but they kind of hide the snowflowers, and then you can kind of have this blue glow behind them. I think it adds to all the particle effects, makes it look nice. Anyway, the cherry blossoms look so nice with the sunrise. It's by far my favorite tree, these cherry blossoms. I love the cypress trees and the white blossoms as well. I tried messing around with willow trees. Didn't quite walk. I think that's it for this garden. I would like to go back to the other garden, since if you walk with hedges you might, maybe you figured out, but you might wonder how I've done this. So these hedges aren't connected, they kind of look like they are. But essentially how I did this, go to garden hedges. I might bore today, no I'm fine. So essentially how I did this was I would set up this wall here, and then, well, I've kind of messed up here, so I have to, so I'd place this hedge next. However, if I tried placing this hedge, you see on how it connects? So to get around that, normally what I would do is, I use the circular one here, is I will delete this, Then I'll go, I think it's this one. I'll add this one now. Let's add that there. And then I'll add this one. And that way, just get some extra space along this path here. Once again, it kind of like, it ends with this grass here. And adds a nice lighting to it. Thought that looked really nice. And it gives you extra space for like benches and planters, but normally you'd be really squished along this area because the hedges would be right where the bench is. And it gives you just enough space for the planters on each side. But anyway, that's it for the outside for those gardens. Let's ring the bell here. Let's go in through the front door. This main lounge. I love the way that this looks, because you go in, there's another U-shaped staircase, which I love the shape of. I went with orange lighting on the back here, and then I actually have red lighting up top. And I thought that looked really nice, because when you're looking down, it somewhat transitions to the orange a little bit. And of course these are red curtains as well. If we do look at these, so you might notice that I use a lot of chess tables instead of other tables. And while I did used to play chess a long time ago, I was never really good at it, and I never really did like the game that much. However, the chess table is the perfect size for any fireplace or any window, as you see here. It's perfectly sized. And it's, not sure the right terminology, it's like symmetric. It's like when you place a chair down, you know, it goes in nice and neat. And it just looks nicer. But if you look at these end tables here, these are a nightmare to walk with, from my experience. So they're just slightly off-center from everything. And normally I hide that fact by putting chairs on the side. Or I'll just put it closer to the sofas. But if I were to put that by the fireplace, you would definitely notice that it looks just a little bit off. Of course, I get around that sometimes by using these garden tables right here, which are symmetric. They are pretty nice. Let's go upstairs. I just want to showcase this from my vantage point. You might notice that this entire castle is very symmetric. The left is very similar to the right on the exterior. Or well, I guess with the garden stuff, it's not really the same. But the layout is, pretty much. However, with the way I've designed the rooms and the decorations, it's not similar in the slightest. It's like even right here, the middle is pretty much similar. But on the right side you've got, you know, table, statue. Left side you've got the hunting trophy and the fireplace. That's pretty much the difference I'll do a lot. I'll have fireplace on one side, statue on the other. In fact, right here you have seating area here with a chandelier. On this side you have a fireplace and seating area with a clock. Of course this statue, it's a great statue, just in the middle here. But anyway, let's go downstairs. This right here is the servant quarters. Well, mostly servant quarters. This right here is the guest area. But right here, I kind of copy-pasted this along the hallway. But it's just a painting, a bust, and two vases. And I went with these two plants since they're very nice. You know, you can kind of change the color. And it adds different detail along the hallway. I think right here I use, cotton and roses. I can't remember the name of that. I can cheat. Red Cranesbill? Yeah, that. Oh, white Cranesbill. I thought this was cotton. Oh well. Well, it looks pretty nice. Anyway. Oh, I guess I'll note this here. I put a statue at the end, and it's a white statue. Kind of goes along with the hallway, since, you know, it's white lighting. All that. But in order to make it kind of stand out, I put a blue curtain behind it. These are actually blue emblems here. And then I put a blue lighting behind it with blue tinted glass. It kind of makes the statue pop out a little bit, otherwise it would somewhat blend in with the wall. You'll actually see that on the green hallway upstairs, where it somewhat blends in with the wall just because there's so much green in the hallway. But when we get to that, I'll showcase that. Here we've got a blue hallway. Well, not hallway, sorry, a bedroom. These are my solvent rooms. This one has the carpet flooring with nice little carpet at the bottom. You'll notice that a lot of these rooms kind of contain similar things. You have a desk with a chair, maybe a bureau or a wardrobe, mirror, bookcase, not bookcase, but bookshelf, some painting, a coffin, and then another sitting area with some makeup desk or whatever you'd call that. But it's kind of all laid out differently, depending on the room. This room has a balcony where you have an amazing view of the mountains and this garden over here. Of course, you've got this emblem here, which is by far my favorite emblem. You've got the light blue, which is the gem and the background. Just goes so well with all of the other colors. I think it was either this color I went for, or like a light green. Both of those look really nice. I think purple look nice too, if I remember right. But I didn't use that too much. On the side we've got this room, once again very similar in the design. But I decided to make this one a little bit more cramped. And this is actually dark green grass, in case you're wondering. I thought it kind of looked like a nice carpet. One of my friends told me it looked like marble. I don't really see that, but maybe it looks like marble? I'm not sure. But it's more of a nature themed room, hence the light green wallpaper. And then this area you've got a lovely view once again. And a bit different layout. Oh, and you can't place carpet on grass, so that's why there's no extra carpet in this area. Also, all of my minions' names, they're either deputies in my Iron Legion that I had, or they're just different names that I had when I played different games, or just for my alts in Ion. By the way, here we've got a break room for my solvents. You'll notice that compared to a lot of the guest areas, just make it a little bit different. You know, I went with this kind of plainer background. And I think it adds to like the solvent feel of this area. You know, it still looks really nice because it's supposed to be a real fancy castle. However, it's definitely different from the guest area. Once again, the chairs have less gold on them. There are still some golden chairs. On this side, you've got a kitchen. I tried making, you know, because we have a dining hall here. That's what this room here goes off to. So I wanted to have a kitchen in the room, since every castle's got to have a kitchen. I went with some, you know, blood potions, alchemy, orb stuff. Just, you know, you can like not roleplay. You can pretend that, you know, they could make food here. There's not too much going on. So let's go off over here to these two solvent rooms. This is one of my favorite rooms by far. Well, I guess not by far, but it's just one of my favorite rooms. Just because I love the color pink in this game. I don't know, it's just such a nice color. It goes well with the gold. And it's a 3 tile instead of 2 tiles in this one. But this room actually has shared balcony space too. So this right here is a fountain. Well, of course it's a fountain. I don't know. Okay, this. I love this. Sorry. Yeah, it's a fountain, by the way, in case you couldn't tell. But you know, I put lighting on the side, and it makes this emblem just pop out so much. The light blue and all that. I don't know. I thought it looked really nice. But you've got another view here. It's a shared balcony, so over here you've got this blue bedroom here, and it's pretty much exactly the same as the pink, so I won't talk about that too much. And then you go out to the cypress garden here. And now if you go down this hallway. Speaking of it, needed to put in my speed amulet. Here you've got a guest lounge here. Very nice, got this lovely flooring here. I think this is jeweler's flooring, alchemy, I think it's jeweler's. It just looks really nice. I don't like the flooring when it's on its own. Like if you look in this hallway too. I think I have alchemy or jeweler's flooring. Just like at the edges you kind of see a bit of shine. Similar thing here. But I like to hide it with carpet, so it's not, you don't get to see too much of it. Now let's go down here, where we go to the guest quarters. And this right here is a private lounge for, it's like this entire area is just an area for like a really high ranking vampire, or, a close friend, really close friend pretty much. So they get their own private lounge, and a private garden, and their own giant bedroom. But I went with the red lighting here. It's pretty nice. Actually, I went with orange lighting above the fireplace. Separate it a little bit. I noticed that if you have too much, like if I had this candle be red, this be red, the lighting here be red, it kind of flushes out the room. Kind of noticed that in the white hallways. Kind of flushed out so much white. So I tried adding different colors as well. But here I have, statue of me. That's why it's light blue, because it's me. My character has light blue hair. It's also why I went with kind of a light blue. I mean, I know a lot of the castle is not light blue, because I wanted to go with different color themes on each side. But whenever you see the emblem or statue of me, normally it's light blue. Just because, it's kind of my castle, so. If you are wondering, I got this idea of like a, like a royal bedroom for like a high-ranking vampire that's separated from everything else. I got this idea from Auric Castle, I believe it was. And in that castle they had their own, since they were kind of like closely tied to English royalty, they had a sectioned off room just for, if a family member, or not family, if a member of the royal family came down, they would sleep in that area, but if they weren't there, that entire section of the castle was not used. Well, at least that's how they explained it. And I thought that was pretty neat, so I went with a similar design over here. And this is their bedroom. I tried to go with an open plan in the middle, and then put a lot of the details off to the side. This right here, I'm pretending this is a bed. I didn't want to put coffins everywhere, especially since I ran out of solvent coffins, so I'd have to use these stone coffins because I'm not using a wood coffin. I guess I could have used this one, but this coffin's so large that it doesn't really go anywhere. So I tried different things out, and I found out that you can put two of these benches, and you can actually make them overlap a little bit. And it kind of gives you this bed frame. It kind of looks more like a baby crib, if I'm fully honest. But if you use your imagination, it's kind of like a fancy bed, kind of. I don't know. I thought it looked alright, so I kept it. And then you've got like a dressing area here. I'm not. Once again, my friend told me this looked like marble. I personally don't really like it, but it's different. Each of the rooms, I want them to be a little bit different from each other. That way it's not copy-paste. So, there's a lot of things like that where I kind of don't necessarily like it, but it adds a different theme to the area. Yeah, that's it for this. Now let's go and explore this private garden right here. So you've got the seating area, where it's nice and shaded during the day. I think in my 6-minute fortune I explored this during the daytime. and didn't get burned by the sun too much. Once again, some nice glowy flowers. Very blue, so I added the red flowers here on the end. Kind of goes small, medium to this larger plant. I guess morning lilies are larger. But, you know, the plant overall is larger for whatever this one's called. I can't remember the name. I don't know why. Anyway, it's sectioned off by edges over the edge, which I thought made it like very nice and private. Which is pretty nice. And then we've got this fountain here, where if you get it top down, I put a red light behind it, that way the statue sort of pops out a little bit, since it's a blood fountain. I thought it kind of looked nice like that. And this is of course a DLC fountain. I don't have any DLCs, except for the Halloween one that they gave up for free. However, my friend Nether does have some of the DLCs. And so, this is one of the fountains from it. The DLCs are really nice. I feel like you could just make any castle with the DLC, you know, it could just be a box. And as long as you have the DLC flooring and the wall, it just looks like the best castle in the world. But, anyway, on this side, got this nice little seating area, sectioned off by the hedges. It's nice and shaded. And I guess since it's daytime, you get to see this as the sun rises. Just love the outside look, especially with the lamps when the sun rises. Anyway, on this side, this is a very small detail, but I'll point it out. These are supposed to be like, you know, when you go to a museum and you have like paintings or, you know, relics, artifacts, things like that, and you wonder what it is, so you look down and there's like the, kind of like a podium or some like plaque that's there that tells you what it is, like the story behind it. That's why I went with this. So it's supposed to be like, this is the story behind the painting, or who painted it, things like that. And it kind of separates it, because I didn't want it to add, you know, bust, vase, copy paste it all the way, like I did the other hallways. Wanted this one to be a little bit different. And since it's a guest area, you know, the guests would like to read all the stories and all that. But here you've got another guest lounge. This is a DLC statue for my friend Nether, and I put like a storybook in front of it, since it's kind of like a scene from a story or play or something. Is what I got from it. Here, this opens up to the courtyard, which I think is pretty neat. You know, if you have a guest, they can just come in straight through here. Oh, it's about to be a blood moon. I'll have to skip that. I don't like the way the blood moon messes with the camera, like all the lighting. We've got the hallway, and then this room's a little bit different. I added orange lighting just because I was kind of sick of making every room, you know, whitewashed with all of the white lighting. So I've got like this light blue, since once again, somewhat a light blue castle. Not really, but if I went with the default color, it'd be light blue. So light blue walls with the orange lighting, and this lounge is a little bit different. Technically, I got this idea, this is not really that important, but I got this idea from a hotel we were staying at in London, where in the lounge, they kind of sectioned off all of the couches, so it's kind of more private, and it kind of, I also hold that helps with the sound in an area when you section off, you know, all of the seating. So I did that here, and I thought it looked nice, and it's different from the other rooms. On this side, you've got this dark grey bedroom, or is it black? I think it's black. It's one of my least favorite bedrooms. Although there's a lot going on, it's a bit too much. And I think the reason why is when you go in, the door opens this way, so you immediately have to turn, then you turn again, and it just makes it feel really cramped. And there's not too much color going on, so I probably could have done better with this room. I tried, you know, redoing it many times, and no matter what I did, it didn't look the nicest. This green room's a little bit nicer. Got the white lighting, of course. You got a room where you can watch the wolves sometimes kill the deer that's wandering around. Now if we go here, you can see the garden, which I'll explore during daytime, and then I'll actually pause the video as I skip the blood moon. Showcase this during nighttime as well. You've got this fountain here. In fact, I'll just run through it during the day since we're somewhat out of time. Well, not really out of time, but you know what I mean. Oh dear. This is what it is like during the day. I think it looks very nice during the day, but it looks so much nicer during the nighttime. So I just want to speak through it at the moment. And then I'll restart when it's nighttime. Well, I guess since we still have a few hours. If you're wondering, these, once again, you can overlap the hedges. So you notice these two overlap, these are overlapped. And that kind of, you know, it shortens the circle area. Because if you don't do that, first of all, I'd be cutting into these trees and I'd be deleting them. Which I kind of like the shade. It'll look very nice. I mean, it doesn't provide that much shade, but having trees here is better than not having trees there. And it removes the lip, like you will see, it's just dot. Like you kind of see it along here, kind of like this dot-ish look. I don't really like this too much on the side here. Right here it looks very nice, but on this side it did not. So I wanted to compress this, so I actually, using the same trick I did before, with the hedges, I kind of overlapped them a little bit, which was a real pain to set up. Oh, I do want to see this during nightfall. Not nightfall. What? Sunfall? What? I can't think of the word. Whatever. Looks so nice with orange tints. Especially this garden as well. Sorry. And now that it's blood moon, I'll pause the video. Oh wow, and would you look at that? The blood moon's gone. Ah, now that it's nighttime, let's explore this side garden over here. So we've got this stone area here. I went with stone instead of just the grass since it's somewhat like, close off, it's kind of like a welcoming area to the whole garden. So I thought it was nice with the stone. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a airplane going overhead. Yeah, I've got a statue over here of myself. Just wasn't too sure what to do, so I just put a statue here with the leaf thing behind it. Let's go along here. Tried my best with the lighting in the gardens to not flood it with so much lighting. So you'll kind of notice that over there. It's less lighting than along this path here. You've got a nice seating area. There's not too much going on here. And over here, as I mentioned in the shorter version, you can sit down. And I actually ended up killing the wolves while I was waiting. But you can sit down here and get mauled by the wolves that normally chase the deer over to this area. But you've got a nice sitting area here. I've kept a lot of the bushes. So if you look at my castle, it's like almost full. The size limit on 550. And I actually saved a lot of tiles because I wasn't sure if I was going to need them at some point. I ended up not. But over here, there's actually no tiles here. However, you can still place garden things on these tiles. Or these spaces here, even though there's no tiles. So if you ever like running out of space, just know you can do that. And of course here you've got hidden lighting on the waterfall. I just thought that was pretty cheeky. Adds a bit of light to the red over there. Now if you go through this area over here, you've got this garden, which is one of my favorite gardens in the whole castle. I know a lot of the other gardens have so much different colors, especially the cypress garden, which I love the cypress garden too. But this one, you have the waterfall in the background, and it just looks so simple. I just want all the folks being like this waterfall with the pond in the background. And we actually got a little bit of fish today, swimming around. But with the lighting, these lights right here, these are kind of like the Colby ones. They actually emit quite a bit of light. The lampposts emit a lot of light as well. However, these ones barely emit light, in my experience. So I kind of put these in the back here, since they look very nice as well. I normally use these for like greetings. No, not greetings, but like, you know, entrances. There you go. Yeah, if you ever wonder... Oh, by the way, sunset. For some reason, I blank on wards when I'm trying to think of them on the spot. So... wish I would, but... By the way, you've got these, which don't emit that much light, just so it doesn't detract too much attention away from the waterfall. Which, if you listen, is just amazing. Now if we go along here. Once again, as I mentioned, these are all different sections. Like, if I move this, you see that kind of connects to the other one a little bit, and it's somewhat off-center. It's kind of annoying. But doing it this way, I mean, you get a bit of the clipping there. It actually doesn't look too bad. These are actually facing the wrong way. I never noticed that. I always like facing them this way, that way you kind of see the cove. You've got less lighting as we move along. It's a nice, relaxing area. And then this area... So, normally I don't like quartz, and normally this is just a rock. It actually doesn't look that bad. But I put this seating here, and the lamppost here. Actually no, I think it's this water fountain right here. I put this here, as something spawns here. I think it's another rock, and it somehow looks weird. It might be plants, I'm not sure, or tree. And that blocks it from spawning. And it just makes this place look pretty nice. And then of course, similar thing here. I think there's a tree that spawns here, and I didn't really like it that much. So I put a statue here, which, you know, my excuse that it's like the statue of whoever owned the land before I own it now. Like where all the ruins come from. That's the story at least. It's not really like that. That's pretty much it for this side garden. Now let's go upstairs towards the Purple Lounge. And it's the Purple Lounge because it is purple. If I had to redo this room, I think I would change the carpet here to be white instead of purple. I think when I did that it looked odd. I'm not entirely sure. Because it's I love the color purple in this game, it's just so nice. But as you can tell, like right here, I was trying to like space it out a little bit, put white in there as well. Because if there's too much purple, it kind of detracts from the color. Right here, you've got a shard here. I was trying to figure out what to place here. The shard looked pretty, so. And it's different from the rest. This one, you've got like a booth spacing instead of just a couch. And then this is a DLC statue. Somewhat like a focus of this room, I would say. I actually put purple lighting behind it. That way it sort of like glows and matches the room a little bit. And then white lighting on the sides. I thought that looked pretty neat. You know, it's just a stone statue. It's like grey stone, so on its own it doesn't really look that nice, in my opinion. It's got this grey stone with like the gold halo above it, kind of weird. It's pretty nice. Is that halo floating? It is floating. Oh. And then here, I used to have fences here, because you know, you don't want guests falling off. But when I had fences, it kind of detracted from the view here, where you can see this whole garden. think I'm happy I didn't put fences here. It's just this view where you see everything. You look to your left, you see even more. It's pretty nice. And of course, you'll notice this on balconies that I have. I try to keep the middle clear, that way you can stand there and actually look at the view. Let's go at the end of the hallway, but I will actually enter this way. So you'll notice, even though it's a purple hallway, and once again, I didn't want to go with white lighting, so I kind of purple washed the room a little bit. However, at the end, I put pink lighting, and I know I said I like putting light blue behind me, but I think here, putting pink and a pink window made it look a lot nicer at the end. And actually, this is a pink window with purple curtains, because purple curtains look a lot nicer than pink. And with the pink lighting, it kind of makes it look a little bit pinkish anyway. Well, that looked pretty neat. Anyway, here you've got the pink room. Something interesting about this room is I used to have all of the lights in here just be pink lights. But then I changed it to be white lights up front. And these pink lights in the back. And I did that because for the pink room, it actually looked pretty nice. Not too bad. But for the yellow room, it looked awful. And I think that's just because I don't like the color yellow for lighting. Just, I don't know. It doesn't look that nice. Alright, well, look at the yellow room as well. It's, I think, exactly the same as the pink, except it's yellow. Even the carpets are the same. And it got yellow lights in the back, which actually look pretty nice, as they're not used that much. And white lights in the front. Well, I guess this one doesn't have a window, but that's barely a difference. Anyway, let's go over here. Let's actually go to the dining hall, which is one of my favorite rooms of the castle. So once again, you've got these two, kind of like Hogwarts style. Yeah, I don't watch too much Harry Potter, but I don't know what else you would call like the long tables here with all the seating. Technically, the university I went to also had similar style seating. Maybe it's Oxford style. So I think Hogwarts is based off Oxford, right? So kind of like that. You've got two of these DLC paintings from my friend Nethel. And then of course, as you walk up, you see the castle heart guarded by statues of me, and I chose grayed out vases here to kind of match the statues a little bit and the whole stone heart. And I put a lantern here, this flying lantern, above the heart. That way it kind of has like a crown, and it's a red lighting lantern, or flying light. And I think I'll be doing that for all of my castle hearts from now on, if I build another castle. Over here you've got some seating, and this opens up to the kitchen, as we saw earlier. Just got extra seating. And then this space, since you don't have the kitchen on this side, it's just a whole seating area. And then you've got a balcony here. Just to look at the views. I don't like these back balconies too much. I kind of wish I did something else with them, because all along the castle I have those balconies in the back, and they don't really have good views. So I don't like showcasing them. By the way, you go up the stairs here. And you might notice this with my teleports, I did the flying lights above them as well. Directly above them. I thought that looked pretty neat. Right here you've got the light blue hallway. I think I showcased this a little bit. Got the light blue on the side, contrasting the orange in the middle with the red. Thought that looked pretty nice. And of course you got the orange along the red pillars here. Let's go to right here, where the door's already open. Got similar thing, blue lights with statue of me with a blue window. And here you've got, I think this is dark gray, it's not black. Yeah, definitely gray. But I love the way it looks with the orange lights. So normally I go with the white lights, but here orange just fits it so much nicer. I have a little mushroom thing here, which actually glows a little bit. Looks pretty nice. You've got your own seating area here. Got a view, which I love this view as well. You can't see it that much. Like you can kind of see the front garden a little bit. Cypress garden. You can see any guess with the shadows that the giant pillars here cause. Of course, over here, well, I'll showcase the other room, and then I'll look at the shared balcony. So this side we have this blue bedroom, and the lighting's a little bit weird here, so I chose orange over the fireplace, because I like the orange over fireplaces. Sometimes I don't always do that, but... However, it looked kind of weird when I had the blue lighting here, going straight to like this orange. So I kind of transitioned it with this light blue light. And it's somewhat like a statue of myself, you know, with the light blue emblem behind it. And I thought that looked pretty nice. Of course, pretty similar in what's in the room, compared to like every other room, but different layouts and all that. And then you've got this balcony here. I will put on a blood key since it's daytime. I don't want to burn. But you've got some seating here with the braziers on either end, you see that as well. And then they actually have a giant fountain in them. And this is normally what I do with fountains, where I put the planters around them with the lighting on the side. Sometimes I'll place the benches along the fountain, so they're facing outwards. This time I wanted to have the benches facing towards the fountain. That way you sit down and you have your back facing the mountains, which, honestly, this mountain view, like, this is probably the best view of the mountains. So it kind of goes past the chasm a little bit. And you can kind of see the private garden, which of course isn't that private if you can see into it, but, you know, the castle kind of blocks the left side and it's very nice and shaded, so it's private regardless. That's pretty much it for the balcony. Oh, and I guess I'll say these are like two... I haven't fully decided. They're either rooms for... Maybe they can change, but... They're rooms for either, you know, like... If you had advisors in a castle or something. You know, like high-ranking servants, I guess. Or they're just rooms for important guests or family or something. I'm not too sure. But they're rooms, regardless. Either way, let's go to this side over here. And here, that's kind of what I'm talking about. So this is a green hob. Normally I just rush past this. I'm not too happy with this. I kind of wish I changed it. But I wasn't sure how to change it. Because we have a green, so it's a light green hallway. But I chose white lighting along the side. And if I did light blue lighting here, it just looks weird with the green. So I did green lighting, and it kind of, I don't know, for some reason it kind of makes a statue like invisible to me. Like it makes it darker. I don't really like it. By the way, let's go to this white bedroom here. Once again, it's kind of like a mix between that blue bedroom and dark gray bedroom. The style is very similar to the blue. You got the statues on the side here. You have candles to separate yours. You know, the layout's a little bit different. For example, I guess even the lighting, like you have white light at the back here, orange light in the middle. So it's a little bit different than lighting. Well, I mean, the whole lighting's different anyway, but the layout's different. I think this vase is different. And these actually have separate balconies. So on this side, you've got probably the better view. Where you can kind of see the waterfall and look down and see the bridge. But on this side, you got a lovely mountain. You actually got a bit of orange on the mountain. Kind of nice. I wanted to add pillar supports for these, but they kind of block out the trees. So I couldn't do that. Either way, let's go over here. We've got this green bedroom here. I tried something different. I tried putting white here so that I can have my light blue banner, since it's, you know, a statue of me. Gotta have the light blue theme to it. And very similar to the dark gray layout. Once again, a little bit different. Like, this area is sectioned off. You got like green furniture instead of the white or the dark gray. And then you've got the green lighting here. Other than that, it's very similar to the other one. And then you've got the balcony here, where you can look to your left and see a bit more of the garden here. Closer to the fountain. You can't really see the bridge because it's blocked by the trees. By the way, let's go start making our way to the throne room, which is this way. And I love what I did with this hallway. So as you walk by, kind of see I have like these banners here next to the statues. And not only does this kind of look nice, it sections off the room behind it, which I have white light up front, orange light in the back. It's a very common thing that I do. But, you know, sections it off. Interestingly, I have the red emblems here. I think I tried light blue, but it kind of looks weird with the red background. And this side is completely similar. Normally I chop down this tree, but it keeps growing back. I think I tried placing something here, but I couldn't. I can't remember. Maybe I didn't try. I think I could have just placed like a light there or something, and it stopped the tree from spawning. I should have done that. But got another balcony here, which I care nothing about. Once again, even as you look at it, there's like no detail here. But when you look up, you go down. Oh, when you go up and look down. Is that what? I can't remember. But you have these white lights along these pillars here, the white pillars, and the red background with the orange lights. I thought this looked really nice, especially with the statues down there. And this is the idea I got. Well, I kind of just thought of this on my own, but I'm thinking I kind of thought about, you know, when you look at pictures of like casinos, I think, or like really fancy hotels, and you have that white light that shines up some of the pillows or the walls. That's kind of what I went for here. So I went with, you know, the candles since they kind of glow a lot, and then the lanterns since the light's a little bit lower. Well, I guess it's not really, but I think it looks nicer than candles, and that's what I did. By the way, it kind of glows white along the pillows here. Oh, that looked really nice. And I went with orange light along the inner area here, just to separate it. And then you've got this, you know, this is probably the better balcony of the three. Honestly, I probably should have just deleted that. That way, this kind of feels a bit higher up. Because right now you have that wall, you know, the flooring below you. It doesn't feel as high up. But you've got a better view of the mountains, but it's so close to you that you can't really look at them too much. Once again, if this was the ocean, it looks so much nicer. By the way, there's not too much in the detail along here, just like benches, lights at the end. Either that's, you know, I have a theory about that. I know I designed this, but my theory is that when I was designing this, I was just kind of born out of making all of these rooms different. I was kind of like, I just want not that much focus to be on this room. Because, you know, I'm getting kind of lazy. But also because I want this area to be very clean right when you go up to the throne room. And if I had a lot of clutter along here, kind of detracts from the overall feeling, I'd say. But anyway, we've got entrance to my throne room here, which I actually kind of like. Yeah, once again, it's so simple. You just got statues along the wall, nothing in front of it. As you open it, changes the carpet. And I just love, like, I know it's so simple, but I love this throne room. Got the purple lights in the back and the light blue tinted windows. However, you got the orange lights along the side. I think these are purple or dark blue. It might be dark blue banners. You also notice that there's two types of banners in this game. I'll kind of explain It's like you got these banners here, which are the cheaper banners. And I like these because they show the color a lot more. You can definitely see the dark blue in that, but they're thinner. And they can kind of get in the way sometimes. These ones are larger. And they have a lot more detail on them, you can kind of see there. They have two things up and down, and the bat's a little bit grander. They're more expensive, of course, shadow weaves. But, you know, kind of depending on the overall feel of if I wanted to be clean. Like, this area is supposed to be really clean, so I went with these panels. I thought it looked nice. And I kind of pointed this out before, well, in my 60-minute video. But it's my name, Aether, which kind of makes sense. It's an alchemy flooring, and Aether's kind of a, you know, it comes from ion. It's an alchemy agent. Or reagent. Yeah. But no, that's pretty much it for the throne room. I will say I tried adding different things to it, because, you know, while simple is very beautiful, you know, it's a throne room for a grand castle. I thought, you know, I tried adding all these fancy things to it. I tried putting a Dracula throne here, which, if you're not accustomed to it, you get it after you kill Dracula. Where is it? It's probably under dominance. Yeah. But it's huge, and it doesn't really fit the theme of the castle, so I didn't really add it in. But that's pretty much it for this. And now we go into my personal bedroom. And this one I have mixed feelings about. On one hand, it's completely different from all of the other rooms. However, I needed to put my teleporters in somewhere, so I kind of just threw them in here. I wasn't sure where to really... I think if I had to redo this, I'd put a teleporter here instead of the table. A teleporter here instead of the table. Then you kind of go in and it's a bit more open. But then it's like you have so much empty space in this room, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But for some reason, I didn't really like it when I was designing this. So I kind of went with this. It's kind of very chaotic, especially compared to the rest of the castle. By the way, you've got, you know, all the teleports here, which, you know, this goes to the guests, but like, you know, if I'm gonna be greeting guests, I've got to remove this teleporter. As you can tell, when I was taking my break, I left to get some more blood. I think I'm a rogue type. That's normally where I put it. But this goes, you know, there, so you can greet guests. Over here, you know, if you're having like a party or something, or like a group there, you can just drop down, make a stylish entrance, you know, turn into bats. And do you turn into bats? Yeah, you do. Okay. You know, it's kind of cool. And then this actually goes to the library. It's kind of weird because this has a similar feel to the library. However, the library just looks so much nicer, and I think that's because it's more organized. And it has more vases in it, so it kind of gives this like jungle theme. For some reason, the vases with these specific plants with the orange lighting, they go well together. They go very well together. But you just got extra books here because it's a library. You know, some reading spaces. Looks like a sitting area. Funny enough, actually, you can't actually get into the sitting area. Some of my seating you can't actually get to. It's just purely decorative. But these ones you can actually go to and sit down on. Which is pretty cool. By the way, you've got more sitting here, and you've got like this hidden statue of me, which I think is kind of cool. I didn't want to add too much lighting to it. There's already so much lighting in this room, so I kind of kept it dark and hidden. Kind of cool. I like it. Sadly, it's off-center to the emblem. It's not bad. Anyway, on this side, you've got two of these DLC statues. And interestingly, I put floating lights in them. And I tried different floating lights than these ones, and they somewhat flip in with the statue a bit more. However, these ones, you can kind of pretend that it's part of the statue itself, and it looks kind of cool. Um, I think with the rest of this library being orange, with the white lights it looks kind of odd. However, I'm not sure what else to do with them. I think if I ever design another castle, I'll try implementing this idea somewhere. However, like, in this castle, it's just, I wanted to put them somewhere. And I thought right here, you know, right next to the Athenaeum, whatever that is. I, I should probably just look at how to pronounce that. I'll just go with Athenaeum. Sounds right. Athenaeum. Sure. But you have that. But either way, I love this room. I think dining hall is my favorite though. Either that or the lounge. This right here, you've got this beautiful balcony. I love what I did here. So you've got, you know, it kind of goes from these lower planters, the vases, and the statue. You go up to these, you know, medium tier vases. Oh, plant. Yeah, I'm just messing up everything today. You know, you go from the vases to the planters, to these lampposts, and kind of to the banner, which is a bit higher up. And then you go back down again. That kind of looked nice. You know, when I was looking at this at the first time, I was like, you know, I kind of designed it like that, and I thought, that might be why it looks so neat and pretty. So it kind of has a hidden pattern to it. By the way, we've got just one fountain here. However, you can hear that giant fountain down there, and I thought that's very nice. But once again, there's nothing in the middle of the balcony, just two of these busts on either side. Just add some detail. And that's because I want you to be able to just go up to here and just look at this view, which is just beautiful. I love this view so much. You can see the cypress. Like, once again, when I built this castle, I went for the view on that where my cursor is right now, on that where you look down on the courtyard. And then as I built it, I'm like, why don't I just make another view that's like that, but you look down at that view and at the side gardens. I think it's very nice. Oh, and of course, I'll keep looking at it since, look at the cherry blossoms. They're so nice at the sunrise. Oh, and that's a gazebo, I think. But I don't know why I just ran with all of that. I've been trying to figure out the name of this building here, like, but you've got like this roof section near in a garden. I've been trying to think of the name for like days, and I just can't think of it. And I just randomly, I think it's a gazebo. By the way, the sunrise kind of gone now. It's just a view now. Alright, we've just got tables on either end. There's not too much detail. By the way, I think that's all I wanted to showcase. Once again, I had a lot of fun building this castle, and I hope, you know, you love the castle as much as I do. Or I hope it I hope it helps you, you know, design your own castle, and you can take all of the features or some of the designs. I love the U case, or U staircase, especially with the door going underneath. I thought that was a pretty neat idea. Additionally, what am I trying to say? I also love, you know, cherry blossoms and the two side gardens as well, especially with the hedges like that. Well, let me know what you think of the castle. You know, any rooms that you love or rooms that you hate, you know, what features you like, what features you don't like. So I'm pretty interested in that. Might help me design future castles as well. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.